Hi all, welcome to our channel. Today we are going to see how to generate our own OAUTH token and how to verify and or validate our OAUTH token in REST API. So as well as Spring Catch implemented, how to implement Spring Catch in our project. So let's see. So yeah, already we have created in this video we will already we have developed one implemented in Spring Catch and OAuth token, how to generate OAuth token and how to verify the OAuth token. So everything completed. So in this video we will see code walkthrough as well as demo how to work our project. So yeah, first I will explain our code. So in this course, in this project, so we are using in couple of dependencies. So first one is Spring Catch, so Spring Boot starter catch dependency. So why? Because we are using Spring Catch. So why, which use case we are using Spring Catch means, so in every API appended in the authentication barrier token. So every API no need to validate every request we need to validate our token and fetch the user in detail info. So in this case we added the catch. So here also using the Lambok. So we are using the in-memory database H2 database as well as the Spring Web and JPA dependency and as well as the Spring security. So here is JWT token, barrier token. This dependency we are using to create a token and verify the JWT OAuth token. So it is actually a dependency used for some utility for JSON format. So yeah, in this we are using the simple Spring Boot. So here we first step we need to add enable catching. Why? Because we enable our Spring Catch. So next important thing is security config. So it is very important. So in every request in OAuth token, so we need to add some configuration filter chain. So here is a first the cars and CSRF tokens also disable. Cross means nothing but cross origin resource sharing. So it is a cross domain not supported in default, so it will be disabled. So say same as CSRF attack, so it is also so defaultly will enable, so we cannot. So as of now we have disabled. So another important point is exception handling. So here is any exception in this so mostly in filter level, so we got any authentication, so any exception we cannot catching. So at the rate of controller advice or controller advice. So in this case we have added the some entry point. So this is our own already provided the authentication entry point. So we have created one class authentication entry point. So what is the purpose of this class means, so any authentications will coming in actually in as in filter level as well as the filter level. So we need to show some error, specific unauthorized error, so something like that. So but yeah, otherwise we not handle, then always returning the 500 internal error. That purpose we added this error. So another one is session is stateless. Mostly is HTTP is session stateless. Stateless means we cannot maintain the session information. So earlier the single application, the front end back end is both application is deployed in the single Tomcat. So in this case the session is maintained in front end as well as back end. So nowadays is front end and back end is deployed to the different server. So in this case is not catching session related HTTP session. So in this mostly HTTP is stateless, not store any information because of security or authentication purpose. So that was the stateless win. So again, so it is a auth. So this kind of URL need to no need to authenticate the permit. Okay, no need to authenticate that URL. So another one is other request is remaining any request coming this kind of format. So not this kind of format, so we need to authenticate it. So again is actually is authentication provider. Authentication provider nothing but actually it is our user service implementation. So it is mostly used for the it is authentication. So once we log in our username and password, we stored some of the security context holder. So in this case we need to capture our username, password, so authenticator role, everything will be captured in the in this authentication provider. So in this case, so here actually another one is very important, so add authentication filter. So your own customized filter, JWT authentication filter. So this filters one per request filter type class we extended. What is the purpose? Every request coming from our application will must come inside. So here only is a entry point of every request. So here only we need to validate every request. So barrier token is have or not, so the token is valid or not. So that kind of validation part is performed in JWT validation filter. So here is nothing but checking something barrier token is there or not. So is the present, then is validate or not, the token is valid or not. So otherwise token is valid, then we'll fetch the token user detail values and will added this Spring contest security contest at authentication. So if we added here the authentication, so we will get the user details in particular user HTTP request in the corresponding. So if you added in filter level in user information, suppose the user information need one in controller, so we can easily will get it, the security contest get authentication, then we can get the user details. So in user detail we need to fetch user name, roles and everything we can fetch it. So yeah, another one is same point is so why we need actually it is a token. So in token is nothing but is bind the user information into the encrypt format, right? So yeah, this is a token. So to fetch the user detail from token and set it, and will add the catchable. So it is a Spring Boot catch. So we have added the catchable means it is a catching nothing but it is a key value pair. Actually it is a key, it is a value. So it is stored in memory database, in Spring storage. So if anything will provide the key, right, is key value pair. So suppose I passing the key is a token and value is the user information. So every time we'll calling, first we'll check the entry, the table format and the key value pair. We passing the token is present in the catchable key value map in internally maintained the Spring catch. So if you then will fetch the result, not invoke this kind of process. So automatically will if the token is not present, then will create and add the entry. That is what catchable. This is what Spring Catch working. So mostly Spring Catch used for the performance of our every time will catching the same entry for every request. So that purpose we added. Another is catch evict. This is to clear the catch from the entry, Spring Catch entry, the key value map, right? So it is catch evict, is passing the key, the token. So token is present in the key, so it is the key is removed the internal entry, key value pair entry. That this is the purpose. So we added the implemented. So yeah, let me demonstrate, then only easily will understand. So here we have added two controller class. This is auth, nothing but is a username password. Just passing the username password, the username as password is present, then we have generated token and will set information. Here I hard coded, so we are here two repository. One is user repository, it is not maintain any repository, so it is created the list. So it is post constructed annotation. Post constructed annotation, once after the every job have all beans implemented, then will invoke this method. So what are the post constructor? So here we configure two users. The test users is a role admin and BA role. The client user, the role is role user. So we have created, added, and I will fetch it and put it in the user details. So it is so yeah, let's so another one is home repository. It is actually we are using JPA, so we configure in the H2 database, in memory database. So I have implemented, so I added dependency jar as well as the configuration entry. So here are we using home wages, so it is wages type. So what is the amount, so that kind of information I stored. So it is simply it is a JPA repository. So another one is a controller, right? Home controller. It is nothing but is a symbol, a home controller to fetch the all home pages, to insert the home pages, to update the home pages, the updated the putting the home pages as well as the delete the. It is simple code repository. Just the here I am using. Okay, so I will demonstrate, then only will clear. So already I started the server. Okay. So here is the first endpoint. So here I nothing to pass any authentication. Okay, so I created test 1 and test 1, so it is invalid user. So I create, so I will the pad credential. Why? Because the credential is not present in the our list. So already we are using two lists, right? Already showing user repository, only test user and client user. So let's I create the valid user use case. I created the test and send. Yeah, this once will give the username password, so will contain it. This is a OAUTH token, so I will let you open. This is a token copied. Okay, open here. Yeah, this is our payload. So token, so for token put it the JWT IO. It is online tool, so we can able to decode actually our value, what are the payloads, what are the headers and everything. So here my payload. So in user I already added some kind of expiry, when will expiry the token, when will created the email ID, so it will the unique ID. So what are the rules, so how to create the token. So let me show my code. Yeah, here is a auth controller, right? So once will how to working actually, when we'll give the username password, so authentication manager is spelling authentication manager provide the authenticate the username and password. So we'll get automatically will get the user detail. It is also internally Spring framework provided the user interface, so we need to implement, so automatically this method will invoke. So in username will passing to find the repository, user repository to get the find. Again the here actually another one more important point is a user detail. This user detail also Spring framework core user detail, so this is also implemented. So we need to bind the value. So if you bind, then will automatically will fetch the here also. This is our build, so here only we need to fetch the grant authority. So we'll fetch the data from our repository and assign the role in grant authority. So the remaining the user ID, username, password, everything will present and here. So let me open the auth controller. Here we need to get the authentication, right? Security authentication. Here is authenticated, so we'll get principal. So here what are the roles, so here only will generate. So if you get the user details, just generated you can. So mostly token have three part. I will show you. Here is actually header and payload and verify signature. Same way we created actually. It is generated token is a header, right? Header is like the algorithm, which algorithm and which type of JW2. So yeah, it is a header. Payload means our user information. Let me show you. So it is what is the username. So where is username, auth name, username, email name. So everything will be have actually. Everything, the subject and everything will be have. So how to implement it? So everything will be, we have created the payload JSON, the JSON object. So yeah, we have created here, put what are the field you need to, we need want. So we need to add this, the email ID, everything will fit. Suppose we need to email ID, password, address, anything we want, so we need to add payload. So okay, so when will you expire it? So we have added the plus 5 hours, the token is valid. I added the token is valid 5 hours. So once we generate a token, so the token is valid for 5 hours. So everything will be added. So as well as the signature, so which signature is which kind of a signature. So here is right HM, same kind of. So we need to get somewhere and we'll put it actually. It is like so. In JW token have three part: one header, payload and signature. Same way we need to create a header, again one dot. So after that is payload. So whatever the payload is converted into the encode, right? So encode nothing but actually the base 64 encode only. Just encode the JSON object and the secret key. So secret key is yeah, secret key is very important. So why? Because suppose everyone, so suppose someone will getting from our token but able to see, so what are the field, but in programmatic way we need to extract the value from the side. So we need to secret key. Here also we need to find the secret key. So secret key, so in our case, so I find the secret key in our application.yaml file, properties file. So the if you secret key, then only we can able to verify. So yeah, let me, it is a generate the token. So that this way we need to generate these kind of tokens. Okay, yeah, let me. So if you need to verify, then same thing, we have need to three part, right? So three parts will have or not. First verify the part, three part, the if any token send it, so we need to first verify the three part, the encoder part is there or not. So another payload plus empty or not. So another signature part. So how to take an, so then after the payload, so we need to fetch the payload, right? Payload is a correct the JSON object, so we need to get whatever the field. So we need to return the customized object, then easily will manage the object, right? So that's what we would add. So it is a auth controller mainly used to get the token and deliver. So home controller, it is, so first I will need to insert the home wages, right? Yeah, this is the home wages. What is yeah, it is post method. So I put it as something wages, rent, amount, wage, date and everything. So I put it 3. So first I need ignore actually without authentication. So I will get actually, so unauthorized, the 404 error. Why? Because so every request the expected the filter, we added already filter, so we need to check the authentication filter or not. So in barrier token filter is present, then only will allow to access to control, otherwise here is break. So first here in adding two tasks, first to check the barrier token is present or not. So next the barrier token is validate or not. Here is check actually valid or not. So validate means is actually expiry date is there or not, the current time is expiry date. So again signature is the same signature or not. So that's purpose we first validate in filter. So then every request the filter is validated. Yeah, let me give the proper JW2 token. Yes, right. Header setter we need to add the pair. So yes, if you press, then we have inserted the 3 data, the rent amount. So if you want, then same way here also we need to present so unauthorized. So if you provide them same token, yeah, we can able to read. Suppose I provide the wrong token. Okay, so wrong means so I added something in end 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, some added some invalid token. So in this case we check the unauthorized token. So why? Because check the lock. So here I check the expiry or invalid token. Maybe the token is invalid, so we cannot access our control. That's what we can securely will able to access your API. So yeah, someone will what is this token creator? Wait, we'll try to. So in this way we need to handle secure way to access your API using the OAuth. Authentication required for resource. Okay, yeah, we can able. So here is the API not passing anything, will return the every same thing. It is normally kind of kernel letter operation, so everyone will know. Oh yeah, it is like wage 2 I need to order, then we can. Yes, here actually some problem in our catch controller. So here I testing purpose. So here actually every request we need to easily will fetch the user details. So here I added testing purpose. I removed once. I will hit. Yeah, here I need to check actually every token information we have. Who is it? Everything will be fetching. How to fetching means. Suppose it is a get API, right? So here is a so here actually we need to passing our token HTTP request. So your HTTP request, then we'll check actually the token, everything will be token information. So we cannot we can fetch our token user related information. So here I testing purpose I added catchy. So that's what the ID is catching. Okay, catch dot put and a bit going to fetch the API. So that's purpose. So everything will be catchable. So we cannot access. Next time we'll access. So same information will be written. So in I present passing the integer number 2. Wages by 2, right? What will do? Invalid, right? So always is catchable. What is my request URL? Let me wait. I removed. So we need to carefully implementable the catch and catch it, so otherwise will be create a big impact. So always will catchable, it will be create the big impact. So we cannot use the all APIs. All APIs we not use it. Only the value is not changed in key the static value. So it is config data. So no need to change. That purpose only we need to add. Uh, yeah, something will problem. I'm not so invalid. Yeah, invalid. I provide the invalid. Then will no. Yeah, some problem in catch. So when carefully will handle the catch. Otherwise, is always will catch is not clear. So if you added catch whatever needed, so it is value is not changed. So not conflict the static data. No need to change. That case only we need to add. So if you added, if you not added, so all place. That is very big damage in our application. So we can use, so in testing purpose I added it, simply added will working or not, so that is a very big impact. So yeah, here one more point. So here added, so in every API request we added the request ID and username, right? So why we need to add the request ID? So in single monolithic application, so if deployed in URL, so if lot of users will access continuously will access, so in this case we are fetching some error in log file, so we could not find so which request who raised the request, so the error belongs to which HTTP request. So in this case very difficult to find to debugging. In this case we added in the one unique ID. So in HTTP, yeah, in Tomcat, so every request comes in Tomcat, so it will be create a new thread. The new thread will be tracking the entire process of the HTTP request. So in this case we added the filter, so we need to create the unique ID generator, will add it, so that the key ID so will traverse the entire thread going to process all packet service DO. So anything we need to add log, so the request ID will be maintained, so it will easily will track. So if suppose I got one error, so we need to check, okay this is also same request, okay the ID is unique. So it is a simple application, then only will have 2 or more log. So in a big application, so we'll be getting more added more log, so we need to getting the more, so it will easily find the debugging purpose. So yeah, in microservice we added the zip key and salute, we use it for this purpose. Actually it's a trace ID, the request ID, span ID, trace ID. So in this but in monolithic, so we added, so let me show you the code in filter. So I added the, here is a thread context that put it, so in put the key and generated the random ID every. So this right ID, so either the logback XML, so here added the like request ID, specify the X and request ID, so easily will tracking. Yeah, it's a monolithic application is mainly used for the debugging purpose. So yeah, yeah, that's what in this video. So yeah, thank you guys.